Hello everybody. Today we're going to do a pine cone cactus review or look at. He's blooming. This is Pelecyphora Pelecyphora strobiliformis. Strobiliformis means pine cone or cone-like. Definitely a cone-like plant. Blooming here in Southern California, end of March. I've had this plant many years, probably 20 years. When I got him, it was about the diameter of a quarter. So it's grown quite a bit since then. Let me pick him up. This is where he lives. In my garden, you might hear my chickens in the background. This is where he lives with my other Mexican cactus like Eriocarpus and Obergonia, Strombocactus. And they get sun about half a day. So from as soon as the sun comes up to about noon. Let me fix this in my hand. There we go. They get sun all day long until about noon, 1 o'clock. And then they're in partial shade from this Pachypodium, and there's an apple tree and things like that. Excuse me, made a mistake. Pelecyphora strobiliformis, the pine cone cactus, very interesting tubercles. They're very scale-like. And again, this is an old plant, and that grayness, that's normal. Those are the old scales as they shed their spines, and you can see the new growth at top. And every year this plant produces a row or two of new tubercles and a purple flower in the spring. This one's due for repotting. I think I'm going to put it in a slightly bigger pot. It's been in this pot again for 20 years, long time. So it's probably ready. When I did plant it, I added gypsum to the mix because this plant does like gypsum and calcium-rich soils. Where it's native to in Mexico, it does grow in those soils high in calcium and gypsum, mineral-rich. Basically, I water only in the spring, summer, and fall. This plant about once a week because it's in a little pot. But in the wintertime and in the cool, wet weather, it doesn't get any water. In fact, in the wintertime when it does rain, the only thing I do is I put it under the eave of my roof so that it doesn't get any rain. So it's subject to the cold weather here in Southern California. So probably down to about 30 degrees is what this one's survived in its lifetime. But it's dry. So when it's cold, I keep it dry. But it doesn't need to be in the greenhouse. But I think if I put it in a new pot, a bigger pot, it will probably grow a little bit bigger. It's been in this pot for literally 20 years since it was the size of a quarter, diameter of a quarter. Smaller than a golf ball. Kind of hard to find. I imagine this has been this is already a rare plant. And this was a seed-grown plant because it doesn't really produce many offsets or pups, and I don't know if you could propagate them pretty easily if it did. So it's pretty much a seed-grown plant, and it's very slow. So I believe that's why it's so rare, both in nature and also in the marketplace. So also be careful not to get poached plants. Usually if you're presented with a plant larger than the one I'm showing you, it's probably poached because it's really old. And those old plants only would grow in the wild. But it is possible to get a nice big cluster of these, especially if you graft them or if you grow them correctly in like a greenhouse or near a location. But again, a lot of specimens have been poached, so be wary of that. Pelecyphora, a very unique, interesting member of the cactus family. This one is the pine cone one, Strobiliformis.